Welcome to Hidden Stories, where we bring you inspiring Christian dramas that touch the heart and stir the soul. In today's story, titled "The Answer Was in My Hands All Along," we follow the journey of a man who prayed and searched for solutions, only to discover that God had already placed the answer right in front of him. This drama will remind you that sometimes we overlook the gifts, skills, and blessings God has entrusted to us, while waiting for miracles to come from elsewhere. Stay with us, because this story carries a powerful lesson that could open your eyes to the answer God has already given you.
Lord, I don't even know where to start anymore. I've been on my knees every single night, asking, begging, crying out for your help. And yet here I am, still surrounded by these bills, still drowning in debt, still trying to figure out how to provide. I thought if I prayed hard enough, the answers would just come. But right now, I feel like I'm walking in circles. Why does it feel like I'm alone in this? Why does it feel like every prayer bounces off the ceiling and comes crashing back down on me? I know you're real. I know you hear me. But if you're hearing me, Lord, then please, why does it feel like silence? I've given all I can, and it still feels like it's not enough. Do you still see me? Do you still remember me, Lord? I've been faithful. I've tried to do everything right. I've worked hard, I've prayed, I've tried to live honestly. But this weight, it's crushing me. And I don't know how much longer I can keep carrying it. Please, God. Just show me what to do. Give me even the smallest sign, because right now, I feel like I'm running out of strength.
Michael, I know you've been carrying so much lately. I see the weight on your shoulders every day, even when you try to hide it from me. But maybe, just maybe, the answer you're looking for isn't something far away or impossible. Maybe it's closer than you think, right here in front of you.
Closer. Sarah, look at these bills, look at the notices, look at the situation we're in. I've done all I can. I've worked late hours, prayed every prayer I know, tried every plan I could come up with, and it still feels like I'm drowning. What I need now isn't just another idea or another suggestion. What I need is something big, something miraculous, something that will change everything overnight. That's the only way out of this.
I understand how you feel, Michael. I really do. But sometimes, we think we need the heavens to split open and angels to descend before we call something a miracle. Yet the truth is, God doesn't always work with noise and flashes of light. Sometimes He works in whispers, in the small things, in the abilities and opportunities He's already placed in our hands. What if the miracle you're waiting for has been sitting right here all along, waiting for you to notice it?
Sarah, with all due respect, I can't pay these bills with whispers. I can't feed us with small signs. I need doors to open that no man can shut. I need God to show up in a way that leaves no room for doubt. Until then, all of this just feels like words.
Michael, I know it hurts. I know it feels like you've reached the end of your rope. But don't mistake small beginnings for nothing. Don't dismiss what God has already given you because you're waiting for something louder. Remember, David only had a sling and a stone, yet that was enough. The widow only had a jar of oil, but it didn't run dry. What you already hold may be exactly what God intends to use. Maybe the miracle you're crying for has been sitting on this very table, in your hands, in your heart, all this time.
Maybe. But right now, I just can't see it, Sarah. All I see is failure. Michael, I've been hearing things. Sarah told me you've been weighed down with worries. I couldn't stay away. I had to come check on you myself. You've always been strong, always the one lifting others up. To see you like this, it's heavy on my heart. James, I'm glad you came, but as you can see, I'm not exactly in the best place. Every day I wake up, and the mountain in front of me seems taller than the one from yesterday. I've prayed, I've tried, but the weight just keeps pressing me down. I feel like a man running with no finish line in sight. Brother, I've known you for years. You've always been good with your hands, fixing, building, repairing things others would throw away. Do you remember how you used to take apart old radios just to put them back together better than before? Or how the neighbors always came running when something broke, because they knew Michael could fix it? That gift you carry, it's not by accident. God put it in you for a reason. Why not use that skill now? Why not take what you've been given and let it work for you? James, you think I haven't thought about that? You think I don't know I'm good with my hands? But skills don't pay bills without money to start. I can't just open a workshop out of thin air. I can't buy tools with prayers. Every business needs capital, and capital is the one thing I don't have. So what good are these so-called gifts if they can't even put food on the table? Don't talk to me about skills, James. Skills don't keep the lights on. Skills don't stop the landlord from knocking. What I need is money, real money, and right now, I don't see where that's going to come from. Michael, listen to me. You're thinking too big, too fast. You're imagining a shop with walls, signs, and workers. But who says it has to start that way? Great things often start small. What if you began with what you already have? A simple hammer, a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, whatever is lying around. Use what's in your hands now, not what you wish you had. The same God who gave you the gift will make room for it if you'll just take the first step. Brother, maybe the miracle isn't waiting for you to get more. Maybe it's waiting for you to use what you already carry. James, I hear you. I really do. But when you're staring at a pile of debt and an empty wallet, faith feels like a cruel joke. I want to believe that what I have is enough. I want to believe that God has given me something I can use. But right now, all I can see are the walls closing in. Then let me believe with you. You may not see it yet, but I see it. I see a man who is stronger than his circumstances. I see hands that were made to build, not to stay idle. I see a gift that, if surrendered to God, will open doors you never thought possible. Don't despise what's in your hands, Michael. Don't bury your talent because of fear. Start where you are, and watch God do the rest. God. Here I am again. On my knees, in the quiet of the night. I feel like I've prayed this prayer 1,000 times before, but my heart won't let me stop. I'm desperate, Lord. I don't know which way to turn anymore. Everywhere I look, I see walls. Everywhere I turn, I see closed doors. Please, show me what to do. I've always believed you hear me, Lord. I've always told others that you answer prayer, that you never abandon your children. But right now it feels like I'm the exception. I feel forgotten. I feel unseen. I feel like my prayers rise only to fall back down and crush me under their weight. God, I don't want to lose my faith, but I am slipping. My strength is failing. Please, if you are truly here with me, then don't let me sink. You gave me these hands, Lord. You gave me this mind, these abilities. James says I should use them. Sarah says the answer might already be here. But God, if that's true, then why can't I see it? Why can't I understand what you're showing me? Am I too blind, too stubborn, too broken to recognize your voice? Please, Father, take away this confusion. Replace it with clarity. Replace it with direction. I don't need riches. I don't need fame. I just need to know what to do. Show me, Lord. Just one step, one idea, one open door. Forgive me if I've doubted you. Forgive me for letting fear speak louder than faith. But tonight, I surrender. I lay it all down at your feet, my worries, my debts, my fears, my pride, even my plans. If I've been waiting for the wrong kind of miracle, then open my eyes to the one you've already given. If the answer has been in my hands this whole time, then, Lord, help me see it clearly. Help me trust it. Help me act on it.
He opens his Bible to read.
Exodus 4:2. Then the Lord said to him, "What is that in your hand?" What is that in your hand?
Michael, do you remember those times when you used to fix the neighbor's furniture? I can still see you in the backyard, sleeves rolled up, with sawdust in your hair and that look of joy on your face. You would take old, broken chairs and tables and bring them back to life like they were brand new. You never complained, never asked for much, you just loved doing it. You even refused payment sometimes because you said, "It's nothing, I just enjoy working with my hands." Do you remember how happy that made you? And how much people admired your work?
Yes, I remember. But Sarah, that was a hobby. Something I did on weekends when I had the time, something to keep my mind busy. It wasn't meant to be a solution to real problems. Fixing a chair here or a table there, what does that do against bills stacked to the ceiling? What does a hobby do against debt notices and responsibilities? No, Sarah. Those days were just moments of escape, not a way forward.
Michael, don't you see? That's exactly the point. You call it a hobby, but it's more than that, it's a gift. A gift you've had all your life. You didn't just fix wooden nails. You restored what people thought was worthless. That's not just skill, Michael, that's purpose. Maybe you dismissed it because it seemed too small, too ordinary. But what if that hobby is exactly what God intends to use now? What if the answer you've been begging Him for isn't something new, but something you've already been walking in all along?
Sarah, you make it sound so simple. But do you really think a man can feed his family and pay his debts with a hammer and a few planks of wood? Do you really think neighbors asking for free help can solve the mess we're in? I can't gamble our future on a pastime. This isn't about passion or joy, it's about survival.
Michael, don't you see? That's exactly the point. You call it a hobby, but it's more than that, it's a gift. A gift you've had all your life. You didn't just fix wooden nails. You restored what people thought was worthless. That's not just skill, Michael, that's purpose. Maybe you dismissed it because it seemed too small, too ordinary. But what if that hobby is exactly what God intends to use now? What if the answer you've been begging Him for isn't something new, but something you've already been walking in all along?
Sarah, you make it sound so simple. But do you really think a man can feed his family and pay his debts with a hammer and a few planks of wood? Do you really think neighbors asking for free help can solve the mess we're in? I can't gamble our future on a pastime. This isn't about passion or joy, it's about survival.
Michael, survival isn't the only thing God calls us to. He calls us to trust Him with the little we have. Didn't you read the story last night? Didn't you tell me what God asked Moses? What is that in your hand? Michael, you've been crying for miracles, but God may be whispering the same question to you. What is in your hand? And you already know the answer. You have skill, you have creativity, you have strength. That may look like a hobby to you, but to God, it's the seed for something greater.
A hobby. A seed. Could it really be enough?
It doesn't have to be enough right now, Michael. It just has to be a beginning. Let God make it enough.
Beloved, there are moments in life when we cry out to God, asking Him to move mountains, to split seas, to send fire from heaven. We wait for the extraordinary, the spectacular, the miraculous. But what if I told you that sometimes the miracle you seek is already in your hands? That what you've been praying for so desperately is closer than you think, hidden in plain sight? Remember Moses standing before God at the burning bush? When God called him to deliver Israel, Moses cried out in fear, saying, "What if they don't believe me? What if they don't listen?" And what did the Lord say to him? He didn't tell him to go find something new. He didn't hand him a weapon or an army. He simply asked, "What is that in your hand?" And Moses answered, "A staff." That staff, ordinary, simple, nothing special, became the very tool God used to part the Red Sea, to strike the rock, to perform wonders in Egypt. The miracle wasn't somewhere far away, it was already in his hand. Some of you are here today asking God to send you something brand new, more money, more resources, more opportunities. But perhaps God is saying, look at what I've already given you. Look at the gifts in your hands, the talents in your heart, the ideas in your mind. Stop waiting for something else and start using what's already there. Don't despise what seems small. Don't dismiss what looks ordinary. In the hands of God, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Again. The same words. What is in your hand? Child of God, stop waiting for the heavens to open before you move. Stop waiting for the perfect condition before you act. Take the staff in your hand, take the oil in your jar, take the talent in your spirit, and lay it before God. Watch Him multiply it, use it, and turn it into the very answer you've been seeking. These old things. I haven't touched them in years. When life got hard, I packed them away like they were nothing but scraps of metal. And now, here they are again, staring me in the face. As if they've been waiting for me all along. But what can I possibly do with them now? I've lost opportunities, I've lost confidence, and sometimes I feel like I've even lost myself. These can't change anything. Or can they? I used to fix broken chairs for neighbors, build shelves for friends, even craft little wooden toys for children in the community. Back then, it gave me joy, purpose, and a strange peace I can't explain. But somewhere along the way, I convinced myself it wasn't enough. That it wasn't real work. That it couldn't put food on the table or a roof over our heads. So, I buried it. Buried a part of myself in the dust along with these tools. Maybe that was my biggest mistake. Maybe I was looking for answers in places they were never meant to come from, when the truth was already in my hands. But what if this? What if this is the answer I've been praying for all along? Not something new, not something distant, but something familiar, something you gave me years ago. Could it be that these hands still have work in them? That this passion was never a hobby, but a seed waiting for me to water it? Lord, I don't know. I'm afraid to believe it. I'm afraid to try and fail. But maybe, just maybe, these tools can change more than I think. Good afternoon, Michael. I hope I'm not disturbing you at a bad time. You know, I was just sitting on this old chair of mine, the one I've had for over 20 years, and the leg gave way under me. Nearly sent me tumbling to the floor. I remembered how handy you used to be, how you could take something broken and somehow breathe life back into it. I thought, maybe, just maybe, you could help me fix it. I don't have the strength or skill anymore. Mr. Johnson, I don't know. It's been years since I touched a tool, years since I did any real fixing. These hands. They feel clumsy now, out of practice, and honestly, I don't know if I still have it in me. Besides, what difference does it make to repair one old chair? It feels so small, so insignificant compared to the weight of everything I've been facing. Michael, don't underestimate what seems small. Sometimes it isn't about the size of the task but the heart behind it. This chair may not look like much, but it carries memories for me. My late wife used to sit in it every morning, sipping her tea, humming softly to herself. It's the last piece of her I still have in this house. To you, it may look like just 4 pieces of wood held together by nails, but to me, it's a reminder of love, of family, of comfort. If you repair it, you're not just fixing wood, you're restoring something I thought I had lost. You make it sound so meaningful, Mr. Johnson. But I'm afraid. Afraid that if I try, I'll fail. What if I can't fix it? What if I've lost the touch? I've already failed in so many areas of my life, work, providing for my family, even holding on to hope. I don't want to add one more failure to that list. I don't want to let you down. Michael, failure isn't in trying and not succeeding, it's in refusing to try at all. You've been given a gift, something not everyone has. And gifts aren't meant to be hidden away. They're meant to be used. You may see this as just a broken chair, but I see it as a doorway. A doorway for you to rediscover what's already in you. Will you take that chance? Not for me, not even for the chair, but for yourself? All right. I'll try. I can't promise perfection, but I can promise I'll give it everything I have left in me. Bring it inside, Mr. Johnson. Let's see what these hands can still do. Well, would you look at that? Good as new. Michael, you've done more than repair a chair. You've brought back a piece of my home that I thought was gone forever. I can't even begin to tell you how much this means to me. You should have seen yourself while you were working. So focused, so steady, as if this was what you were made to do. Honestly, you should do this for a living. I would pay you gladly, and I know plenty of people around here who would too. You'd really pay me for this? For something as simple as fixing a chair? It feels strange to even think of it. For years, I told myself this was just a pastime, just a way to pass the hours. I buried it because I thought it couldn't lead anywhere, that it wasn't practical. And yet, here you are, telling me it has value. That it's worth something. I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or fall to my knees in thanks. Michael, let me tell you something I've learned in all my years. People will always need someone who can take what's broken and make it whole again. It doesn't matter if it's a chair, a table, or even a person's heart, there is priceless value in restoration. You've been sitting on a treasure chest all this time, and you didn't even know it. The fact that you see it as small is what makes it so powerful. Because it's not just wood and nails, it's care, it's skill, it's a gift. Do you know what you've just done, Mr. Johnson? You've spoken life into a part of me I thought was dead. For so long, I've been asking God for answers, for direction, for something to pull me out of this pit of frustration. And now, through one broken chair, He might just be showing me that the answer was already in my hands. Maybe this isn't just about fixing furniture. Maybe this is about rebuilding myself, piece by piece, just like I did with this chair. Exactly, my friend. Sometimes the smallest repair is a reminder of the biggest truth. You were never empty. You just needed to pick up your tools again. I may have come here with a broken chair, but I believe God sent me here for you. To remind you of who you are. Maybe this really is the beginning of something new. Could it really be this simple, Sarah? All this time, I've been looking for big answers, for some kind of miracle to drop from heaven and turn everything around. And yet today, with just a few tools and a little focus, I repaired a chair, and somehow it feels like more than just fixing furniture. It feels like God was whispering to me through it, reminding me that I already have something in my hands that can make a difference. But part of me is afraid to believe it. Afraid it's too simple, too ordinary to be the breakthrough I've been praying for.
Michael, sometimes we make faith more complicated than it really is. We imagine God's answer must come in thunder, in lightning, in something grand and spectacular. But think about the stories we've heard in church. Moses just had a staff in his hand, David only had a sling and a stone, the little boy only had 5 loaves and 2 fish. None of those things looked like enough. None of them seemed powerful or significant at first glance. But when they were placed in God's hands, they became instruments of miracles. Why would it be any different with you? God has already given you what you need. You just need the courage to use it.
But Sarah, what if I fail? What if I start believing again, start trying again, only to fall flat on my face? I've let you down before. I've let myself down more times than I can count. I don't want to raise my hopes only to crush them again. I don't want to put you and the children through more disappointment.
Michael, listen to me. Failure isn't the end, it's just part of the process. Every builder knows you don't get the perfect cut the first time. You measure, you cut, you adjust, you try again. That's life. What matters isn't perfection, it's faithfulness. I'm not asking you to have it all figured out right now. I'm asking you to take the first step, just like you did today. That chair may seem like a small victory, but I see something in your eyes I haven't seen in a long time: hope. And if a single chair can stir that in you, imagine what God can do if you keep going.
You really believe this could be the answer, don't you? That maybe, after all this waiting and praying, God was never silent, He was just waiting for me to notice what He already put in me.
I don't just believe it, Michael, I'm certain of it. God doesn't waste gifts. He doesn't put passions in us for no reason. You were made to build, to fix, to create. Maybe it's not about how grand it looks to the world, but about how faithful you are with it. One chair today, maybe a neighbor's table tomorrow, and who knows where God could take it from there. But it starts with you saying yes.
Then maybe it really is this simple. Maybe the miracle I've been searching for has been in my hands all along. Morning, Michael. I hope I'm not catching you at a bad time. You know, word gets around quickly in this neighborhood. Mr. Johnson couldn't stop talking yesterday about how you repaired his chair. Said it was steadier than when he first bought it. Well, as you can see, I've got a cabinet here that's seen better days. Drawers sticking, one of the legs cracked, the whole thing on the verge of collapse. And I thought to myself, why haul it off to a carpenter I barely know, when the man right next door has hands blessed for this kind of work? Honestly, Michael, I trust you'll fix this better than anyone else. James, I don't know what to say. Just a week ago, I wouldn't have believed anyone would come to me for something like this. I thought my skills were forgotten, buried under years of disappointment. But hearing you say that you trust me, it means more than you realize. I'll be honest, I'm still finding my feet again. It's been a long time since I worked on something this big. But yesterday taught me something. If I lean on what God has already placed in my hands and do my best with it, the outcome can be more than I ever expected. So yes, I'll do it. I'll give it everything I have. That's all I could ever ask for, Michael. You know, people think fixing furniture is just about wood and nails, but I've always believed it takes patience, precision, and heart. And you've got all three. I can tell just by the way you're talking. Look, don't think of this as just repairing an old cabinet. Think of it as restoring something that still has purpose. That's what you're really good at, seeing potential where others see brokenness. You're right, James. This isn't just about wood. This is about redemption, about giving something a second chance. And maybe, in a way, it's also about me. Every nail I drive, every joint I strengthen, it's like I'm rebuilding my own hope, one piece at a time. I may not have all the answers yet, but I can start here, with this cabinet, with these tools. If I'm faithful with small things, maybe God will open doors for bigger ones. That's the spirit, Michael. And don't be surprised if more neighbors start knocking soon. You have a gift. The world needs people who don't just fix things, but restore them. and you've got that touch. Then let's get to work. Because if this is where God is leading me, I want to walk in it fully. Michael, you've been on my heart lately. I see you've been busy. Your hands look like they've been through a full day's work. But your eyes, my son, tell me your mind is still searching. What's weighing on you? Pastor, it's strange. For so long I've been praying for God to open a door, to show me a way out of this struggle, to give me some grand sign. I thought the answer would come in something new, something I've never touched before. But lately, with these tools in my hands, I feel something stirring in me again. And yet, part of me keeps asking, could it really be this simple? Could God's answer have been lying in my garage all along? I don't want to fool myself into believing it if it's not really Him. Michael, that question you just asked, it reminds me of a story I've shared many times, but it never grows old. Do you remember Moses? When God called him, Moses felt unqualified, uncertain, and afraid. He doubted he had what it took to lead. And do you remember what God asked him? He didn't ask, "What do you lack?" He asked, "What's in your hand?" And in Moses' hand was nothing more than a shepherd's staff. An ordinary stick, used for guiding sheep. But when placed in God's hands, that staff became a miracle. It parted the Red Sea. It struck the rock and brought forth water. It became a tool for deliverance. All because Moses was willing to trust God with what he already had. What's in your hand? Pastor, are you saying that maybe I've been asking God for something new, while all this time He's been pointing me back to what I already carry? My tools, my hands, this gift for building and repairing. Could that really be my staff? My miracle? Yes, Michael. That is exactly what I'm saying. God rarely wastes what He has already given us. The passions, the skills, the talents we carry, they are not accidents. They are seeds. But seeds only grow when we plant them, water them, and trust God for the increase. You've been looking at your tools as though they were insignificant, but in God's eyes, they could be the very instrument through which He blesses not only you, but your family and even your community. All this time I thought I was empty, that I had nothing to offer. But maybe I've been holding the answer all along, too blinded by my own disappointment to see it. Pastor, it feels like my eyes are opening for the first time. Then let them stay open, my son. Don't despise small beginnings. Every great journey begins with a single step, every masterpiece with a single stroke. Keep using what's in your hand, and watch how God multiplies it. Remember, the miracle isn't in the staff, it's in the one who blesses what you surrender. Then I will use what I have, Pastor. These hands, these tools, this gift. I'll surrender it all to Him. And maybe, just maybe, this is only the beginning. Maybe the answer was here all along. I've spent so many nights staring at the ceiling, asking God for something new, something dramatic, something that would lift me out of this pit I've been living in. And all the while, these tools have been right here, waiting, silent, gathering dust, like forgotten friends. How many times did I walk past them without a second thought? How many times did I call myself useless, when these very hands were given purpose years ago? This hammer has built shelves for neighbors, fixed broken furniture for families, even carved toys that once brought smiles to children's faces. Back then, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just a hobby, just a small way to pass the time. But now I see it differently. Maybe it wasn't small at all. Maybe it was a gift, a calling I never fully embraced. Lord, could it be that I've been searching everywhere else while you were pointing me back here? I called myself a failure because I wasn't wearing a suit and tie, because I couldn't climb the ladder the world told me to climb. But maybe success isn't about titles or offices. Maybe it's about faithfulness, being faithful with what you've placed in my hands. These tools, this skill, this passion, it may not look like much to others, but maybe to you, Lord, it's exactly what you planned for me all along. Maybe this is my staff, my stone, my loaves and fishes. God, forgive me for overlooking what you already gave me. Forgive me for calling myself empty when you had already filled me. I see it now. Maybe the miracle I've been begging for isn't out there somewhere, it's here, in these hands, in these tools, in this workshop. Lord, if this is truly the path you want me to walk, then I surrender it. Use me. Use my gifts. Use these tools to bless others. And in the process, rebuild me too. Yes. The answer was here all along.
Michael. This looks beautiful. I can hardly believe this is the same old table we've been ignoring for years. You've given it a completely new life. It doesn't even look like the same piece.
Thank you, Sarah. Every scrape, every crack, every loose nail, I worked through them carefully. And when I finished, I realized it wasn't just a table I was repairing. It was me. Every stroke of sandpaper, every polish on this wood, it felt like God was reminding me that He can take the broken parts of my life and make them whole again. But this time, I don't want to stop at repairing things for us alone. I want to take a step of faith. I want to see if what's in my hands can truly open doors.
What do you mean, Michael?
I mean this. I'm going to set it outside. I don't know if anyone will buy it. I don't know if people will even notice. But I believe it's time to test the waters. If God truly placed this gift in me, then I have to step out, even if it scares me. I can't keep hiding, can't keep waiting for everything to be perfect. Faith isn't waiting for certainty, it's moving forward, trusting God to meet me along the way.
Michael, this is brave. I know how much fear you've carried, fear of failing, fear of being laughed at, fear of not being enough. But look at you now. You've turned that fear into faith. And I believe with all my heart that this step, as small as it may seem, is the beginning of something far greater than we can imagine. Even if only one person stops today, that one person could be the confirmation you need. I'm proud of you, for trying, for trusting, for believing again.
Lord, this is my seed of faith. It may be just one table, just one attempt, but I'm placing it in your hands. If this is truly the path you want me to walk, let this table speak louder than my doubts. Let it be the first of many.
Excuse me, is this really for sale? Because I must say, this table is absolutely beautiful. I've walked past this street so many times, and I've never seen something like this displayed here before. The workmanship, the shine, the way it's been restored, it feels like it carries a story. How much are you asking for it?
Yes. Yes, it's for sale. Only just finished working on it this morning. Honestly, this is my very first attempt at putting my work out for others to see. To hear you say it's beautiful. I can't even explain what that means to me. I wasn't sure anyone would even stop, let alone ask to buy it.
Well, let me reassure you, sir. You clearly have a gift. This isn't just a repaired table, it feels like a piece of art. When I touched it, I could tell someone worked on it with care, not just skill but love. That's rare these days. I've been needing a table for my study, something that feels warm and personal, not just another piece bought in a store. And this is exactly what I've been looking for. I'll gladly pay you for it.
You really mean that? You'd actually pay for this? Forgive me if I seem surprised, but for so long I've been searching for direction, wondering if I had anything worthwhile in my hands. To think that something as simple as this old table could carry value to someone else, it feels almost like God is whispering to me that I've had the answer all along. I can't explain the joy that's rising in me right now.
This may look like just one table to you, sir, but to us, it's a symbol. It represents faith, it represents courage, it represents the turning of a page in my husband's life. For months, he has wrestled with doubt, fear, and questions of worth. But today, Seeing someone value what he's created, it's more than a sale. It's confirmation that he's on the right path.
I believe you're right. Sometimes the greatest doors open through the simplest ACTS. And sir, if you can make one table look like this, then I have no doubt that you can do much more. Don't stop here. Keep going. Let this be the first of many.
Thank you. Truly, thank you. You're not just buying a table today, you're giving me courage I thought I'd lost forever. May God bless you abundantly for this kindness. This is only the beginning. I can feel it. Michael, I heard from Peter that you fixed his table so well, he couldn't stop talking about it at the market yesterday. When I saw this stool wobbling again, I thought, why not bring it here? If you can work the same magic, I'll gladly pay you for your trouble. Well, I suppose I could take a look at it. It's nothing fancy, but if you're patient with me, I can give it new strength. You really want me to fix it? Of course. Who else would I trust with it now? Everyone's been saying you have golden hands. Michael, if you don't mind, I'd like you to look at this chair. It belonged to my grandmother. I've kept it all these years because of the memories, but I thought it was beyond saving. When I heard you restored that old table, I thought, maybe you could breathe life into this too.
See, Michael? Do you see what's happening? You doubted for so long, thinking your hands had nothing to offer. But look, God is opening doors right before your eyes. One table became a testimony, and now your neighbors are bringing their treasures to you. This is no coincidence. This is the fruit of obedience, the reward of taking that small step of faith.
All this from a dusty set of tools I almost gave up on. You're right, Sarah. It feels as though God has been waiting for me to believe that what He placed in my hands was enough. I thought I was just fixing wood, but now I see, I'm restoring more than furniture. I'm giving people back their memories, their joy, their hope.
Then don't stop. Keep at it. Every nail you drive, every piece of wood you mend, every polish you give, it's more than work. It's ministry.
All right then, let's begin. One by one, let's bring these pieces back to life. Michael, I have to say, I never thought this shed would come back to life. For years, it stood quiet, like a place forgotten. But look at it now. It's as though it has woken up, just as you have. I can hear the rhythm of your tools from my house, and it sounds like music, reminding us all that something new is happening here. You don't know how much that means to me. For so long, I walked past these tools and felt they were nothing but reminders of a dream that died. I doubted myself, and I even doubted whether God had any use for me anymore. But now, every sound of the hammer, every stroke of sandpaper feels like a heartbeat returning. This workshop, it's not just wood and nails anymore. It's proof that God restores what we thought was lost.
Michael, look around you. Do you see this? For months, I watched you sit in silence, weighed down with worry, convinced that life had passed you by. But today, your hands are busy, your heart is alive, and your shed is filled with people who trust you with their broken things. It's not just business, it's healing, for you and for them. I can see joy in your eyes again, and I thank God for it.
You're right, Sarah. I feel alive in a way I haven't in years. I thought I needed a miracle from outside, something big and dramatic. But the miracle was here all along, right in my hands. These simple tools, this workshop, it's enough. And maybe, just maybe, God intends for this little place to be more than a shop. It can be a light to the community. Michael, you don't just fix furniture. You give us back pieces of our stories. My grandmother's chair was a memory I thought I had lost. But seeing you work on it here, in this shed that's full of laughter and hope, it feels like you're repairing more than wood. You're repairing hearts too. Don't underestimate what God is doing through you. Thank you. Those words remind me that this isn't just work, it's ministry. Each nail I drive, Each crack I seal, each polish I finish, it all speaks of restoration. If God can use me to bring life back to wood, then surely He can use this place to bring encouragement to souls as well.
Then let's not call it just a shed anymore. Let's call it what it is, a workshop of hope.
Lord, I come before you tonight with a heart that's overwhelmed. For so long, I believed I had nothing to offer. I thought my life had run out of purpose, and I nearly gave up on the gifts you placed inside me. But tonight, I see it clearly. You had already placed the answer in my hands. These tools were never just tools. They were a calling, waiting for me to recognize them. Forgive me for doubting. Forgive me for complaining. Forgive me for asking you for signs while ignoring the one you already gave me. Lord, I give these hands back to you. I give this work back to you. Let every nail I drive, every chair I mend, every table I restore, be for your glory, not mine. Thank you for showing me that nothing is wasted. Not the years, not the struggles, not even the dust on these tools. Thank you for reminding me that you use the simple things to perform the greatest miracles. I trust you, Lord. And I choose to walk in this new beginning with faith.
Amen. God has truly answered us.
Good morning, church. A few months ago, I was in a place of deep frustration. I had lost my job, my confidence, and even my sense of direction. I prayed every day, asking God to send me something new, something different, something miraculous. But I kept hearing nothing. Or so I thought. Then one day, God opened my eyes. I realized that the very thing I had been praying for was already with me. These hands, these old tools in my shed, this gift of working with wood, this was the answer I had been overlooking. I prayed for help, but God showed me that my gift was the help I needed. He reminded me that what's in our hands is often the seeds He wants to grow. So today I stand here to encourage someone. Don't overlook what God has already given you. It may seem small, it may seem ordinary, but in God's hands, it can become extraordinary. If He could turn my tools into a testimony, He can do the same for you. Trust Him. Use what's in your hand. Thank you, Brother Michael. That is a word for us all.
Many times, we wait for miracles to fall from the heavens, forgetting that God has already placed gifts, skills, and opportunities within our reach. We cry for answers, while the answer quietly rests in our hands. Like Michael, may we open our eyes, rediscover the treasures God has entrusted to us, and step forward in faith. Exodus 4 verse 2. Then the Lord said to him, "What is that in your hand?" Thank you for watching this story on Eden Stories. We hope it reminded you that God has placed something special in your hands too. Whatever it may be, big or small, trust Him to use it for His glory. If this story blessed you, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who might need encouragement today. And if you're new here, subscribe and join our family for more faith-filled dramas that inspire and uplift. Until next time, remember, God's answer may already be in your hands. Walk in faith, and never lose hope. Subscribe for more inspiring Christian dramas. Share this video and bless someone today. The end.